This is Sudha from East West Life. In this episode, I want to share you something like just to understand if all Americans are rich or not. Uh, so basically, I came from India, and when I was a kid itself, I really want to come to United States. I don't know why I always was kind of like fascinated by United States. I just thought like everybody's so rich, people are all like living very high-fi life, and they are all partying and having fun, loving, and just a very rich people. That's what I thought. But living here for a very long time, I realized that that's not the case. Actually, America is any other country, and people are like can be divided into any like a couple of categories like we see in most other countries. So here we have the super rich people, a lot of them, they are there. And then there is the rich people, then there is the upper middle class, then the middle class, a lot of them are middle class, and the lower middle class, and there are some really poor people too. The only difference I would say is like the poor people, they are not that hungry for food. I mean, even though they are poor, like their lifestyle, you can see that they are really not that hungry for food. The government is actually giving them a lot of benefits actually. uh, they give them like food, the government give them food, and sometimes they actually pay for their rental, I mean the house, and even the health care. So all these things government is actually taking care of. And some people are like handicapped, etc., and they are also getting a lot of benefits from the government. So it all depends on which state you are living on, and it the state where you are living, there are certain rules there. So it all depends on the rules of that particular state. uh, and the people who are like little bit older people, like 65 plus, they get the Medicare, that is like free healthcare from the government. And also many people get social security. So people are kind of like they have some income. uh, there are very few people I have seen like really poor, like people are really don't have a house to stay, they are like outside in the street, etc. uh, I kind of think like most of them of that background, they have some sort of criminal background or something, like they ended up in that kind of position. But those kind of people are very less. I mean, I would say very less in percentage, compared to the whole population. But again, like America is just like any other country. Most of the people are middle class. That's what I want to say. It is when you come here and stay here, you will know. Now, I want to talk about the people, like the people who are coming from India. How is their status? So most of the Indian people, I would consider them as middle class, because most of them, especially the ones, the one income family, I would consider them middle class for American standards. But there are like a lot of upper middle class people too, especially the ones where husband and wife are working and having very high income. I would consider them as upper middle class. There are also like some rich people, some Indians who are rich, I would say. Not a lot of them, but there are some. uh, and I also think there are a lot of people who are like lower middle class. The lower middle class people are like the people like they are working in, for example, like they're driving a taxi, or like working in the convenience store or a retail store, or like in a hotel or something like that. So there are some people who I would consider them as lower middle class. They may not be they may be living with their roommates, and maybe like even giving a portion of their house for rent, things like that. They do those kind of stuff. uh, but again, like most people are middle class. That's what I would consider for American standards. Most Indians are middle class. So this is what I want to share with you guys. Again, this is Sudha from East West Life. See you again next time with another video. Bye bye.